All right. Well, welcome to our first monthly prep. This is something that on a weekly basis, the district managers are running our leadership academy and pouring into you guys. And whether that's your district manager or your original branch manager, whoever it is that's supporting you and your growth. And once a month, I get a chance to dive in and check in with you guys. And we are going to do a couple of different things today beyond. But I wanted to walk you guys through the flow so you know what's happening today. First, I want to share a little bit about President's Banquet becoming a presidentially ranked division, which I don't think has ever been done. And so this is a cool record we can 100% break and earn in the next 2.5 months. And so I want to talk about that and two additional contest payouts that we have for you guys. Second, I really want to have a conversation and discussion around what it takes to develop great representatives who are consistent performers, right? Because there's a difference with just launching reps and developing great reps, right? And then there's a difference between someone kicks butt for their first week or someone's a consistent performer. Everyone good? And so understanding the nuances behind that, what to do, what to focus on. And so be ready because we're gonna have a discussion with it. And then, obviously I'll share some insights there. Then we're gonna go through just prepping for Olean, which some of you guys are going to, but really through the rest of the year, what's gonna be happening. And so Jan Pro is coming and sharing a little bit about that. North Star, who's been the Silver Cup division each year, their secret weapon during January program that's helped them be #1 year after year. And then we're going to be talking about helping you guys set yourself up to get fully staffed, which also means in the meanwhile, and whether you earn an office or not, you're winning team builder scholarships. You're getting extra income, you're getting extra resume boosters, saying that you're a top team builder as well. And so we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to go through some drill for skill on PDI. Cool. So that's the focus of our night tonight. So everyone knows what we're going to be doing. So I want to dig in and talk about becoming a presidentially ranked division. Okay. And so President's Banquet. So you guys know each and every, as sales reps, all right, there's two aspects of this. But as sales reps, you guys can earn a President's Club letter. Everyone know that? Thumbs up if you guys know what I'm talking about. All right. And so there are different levels to earn your President's Club letter, depending on if you started in September, if someone starts now in October, somebody starts in November, or they start in December, right? And so there's different levels of sales that need to be had in order to get this letter of recommendation from the president of our company. There's a hand-signed letter from the president saying you're a badass, and it's an incredible letter actually talking about what it takes to be successful and the type of things that you learn being a sales rep here, how you've shown up. It talks about how you have the highest recommendation from myself or Mr. Rose, Mr. Grudell, and that's on there as well, and Mr. Kinnamore, and says that you've been recommended by your local manager, and basically that they should accept you into whatever program. Maybe you're applying for a grad school program, maybe you're applying for a high-level competitive internship, maybe you're applying for a job, whatever it is. That you are one of the most desired people because of this, the additions that you have to your resume, and this letter from a $250 million company president highly recommending you. Cool. And so that is a huge thing that we want to see everybody be able to get this fall. And you guys want to make a note to sit down with your manager to make sure you have a plan to win your President's Club letter this fall, because you guys can win one every semester, by the way. And that's another cool thing to say you were on the President's Club list 16 times, or 10 times in a row, or whatever that might be. Because it also shows that you're someone who's goal-oriented, right? You like to be at your best. You're not just a one-hit wonder, you're a consistent performer. These are big things that stand out to companies that make you more desirable and make you a lower risk hire, okay? And so we wanna help you guys with that. Well, on top of that, there's a very special honor that an office can get that's called presidential, that's being a President's Club member as an office. And for the offices, this is actually in the fall campaign, okay? And so during the fall campaign, any office that does $100,000 in new business, that means the representatives who just started, okay? During the fall campaign, they win something called President's Banquet. And what happens is that the managers actually get flown out. And so this is out of whatever, 300 offices across North America. Maybe it's more now. I don't know exactly how many offices we have between the US and Canada, but you will have the top 40, 50, 60, 70, I think was the biggest one we ever had, that go, and the presidents of Vector East and Vector West, top level management, they bring us in for, and it's a 2-night thing. We get in the first night and there's a welcome reception. And then the next day, it's a full day affair where we wake up and you have 1 or 2 paths. You get to go on one of the top golf courses in Las Vegas and go golfing, or you get to go to one of the top spas, which is where I'm normally at, get a great massage, enjoy the spa for the day. And so you have a great day of relaxation and connection with your peers during the day. And then we meet at a hotel lobby, typically around 6 p.m., and we head out for an exceptional fine dining experience. Okay. And so we go to just an unbelievable restaurant. It is like a party of the senses. And then typically we'll hang out afterwards. And the next day, everyone flies home, and that's it. You just go to get spoiled by the president and be with the top people. But I'll tell you guys, being somebody who's run President's Banquet every year since I became a district manager in 2004, is like to be around the caliber of people, to be rubbing elbows with the top people in any organization, to make those type of friendships, to be able to share ideas, right? Challenges, solutions, and how can we work better together to keep growing is an incredible thing. And so being able to do things like this, it lets you be with the top, the best of the best in whatever group you're in, and be able to grow with top mentorship, right? And so this is something that I actually am doing for the first time ever in Texas. So I used to do this in Miami for my people. We did something called Mini P. So just like the managers have a full day of extravaganza, for us, it starts the night prior just because we fly and meet the president at a location. Since we have people flying in from all over Canada and the US, that place, the easy place is Las Vegas, where we go every year. And that's where we'll be going in February. And so the first thing we want to do, and then I'll share your guys' contest, is this year, we have an opportunity to say that our entire district manager team, our entire division, president's, like, gets qualified as a president's banquet office, which means we are a president's banquet division. They're checking the stats. Everyone says they don't think it's ever been done. I don't believe it's ever been done, at least not in the 23 years I've been here. And I just like, that's a new exciting thing. Like, I'm always like, what's something that's haven't been done, or what's a record that hasn't been broken in a long time, right? Like, I grew up in this business. I love challenging myself and seeing how high we can take it, right? And so you guys have an opportunity to be part of something that's like historical, to be part of a president's banquet division, that every single office within the Gulf Coast qualifies for President's Banquet. Okay. And you might say, okay, great. How does this benefit me? One, for you guys to put on your resume that you were an assistant manager or a top leader in one of the top, 100 or top 50 offices in North America out of 300, 400 plus offices, throughout the US and Canada, is a huge deal. All right. Because it shows like, okay, you're not just another person out of tens of thousands of people that work for Cutco North America, but you're one of the top people in one of the top, 50 offices. Like, that's huge. All right. And it stands out. And people know that when you're part of a top organization, the types of traits and what it takes to be at the top, right? And so we're going to talk, more about that. But that's a huge thing for you guys to be a part of that. And then we have a fun payoff for you guys. So yes, you get to put on your resume. Yes, you get to brag about it, which is pretty amazing. And it looks great for any recruiters. You guys get to win if you do your part, your President's Club letter, recommendation, hand signed letter from the company. But you guys also get an opportunity for our first ever Texas Mini P. All right. And so we are basically duplicating what they do for us, for the managers in Vegas, we are doing here for our top assistant managers. And so Mini P, you are going to get to pick, just like we do, spa day, which I will be leading, or a golf day, which I believe John will be leading. I'm not sure if Cody's going golf or spa, or will be hopping around. But we are super excited for you guys to win your day of decadence. This is a prestigious thing I fought for every single year to do with our president, because like I said, when you guys get to be around the top people, when you get a chance to rub elbows with the best of the best, like it just helps you grow. And it also helps you have more attention from the leaders, the shakers and movers, where we're like, this is someone worth pouring into, right? And so this will be held on Friday, January 10th. And you get to choose between a spa day or a golf course for the day. And then you get to enjoy a fine dining experience with myself and your district manager will be joining us as well. And so how to qualify. One, you guys need to be on office payroll. Cool. That's the first thing. Number two, you need to win your President's Club letter. So what level, depending when you started, depending what you're doing, talk to your manager to make sure you have a plan to win your letter of recommendation from the president of our company, saying what an incredible asset you are to our organization and why you should be selected for whatever you're applying for. And guys, we have had people that were waitlisted, people that were, not accepted for things, go back and say, oh, I forgot to include this. And they include their Cutco experience and they share their letter of recommendation, and they've literally opened up spots for them. That's the number one thing I'm most proud of in my career with Cutco, is that I've never had a senior graduate and not land the dream job, internship, or program that they wanted to because of their recommendation from here. All right. And then obviously your office has to hit presidential status, which is $100,000 for the fall campaign. Cool. So this is a really incredible thing that each and every one of you guys can earn. And I'm so excited to get to celebrate, with our top people and really bring like the creme de la creme together. And Cody, I don't know if you want to add anything to this or share like what, just because I'm gonna be like, oh, it's a day of golfing, whatever. It's like, yeah, but no, like just how powerful, for you going to President's Banquet has been, and how cool for them to be able to have a taste of that, here. In Houston as they're working in the business. Anything you'd like to share to that? I know I kind of put him on the spot, but he's been there. Can you hear us? Cody, can you thumbs up if you can hear me? All right, he might have just been gotten set up, so he might not have heard anything that I said yet. So, no worries, but I'm share a little bit later. At least on with audio. But anyway, guys, it's one of my favorite things the company does every single year. And I asked our managers, hey, one, I've never seen where an entire division.
Was she talking to me? You're unmuted right now.
Let me mute him. I've never seen where an entire division, like all the district manager, like every office in the division qualified for President's Banquet, which is amazing. And then we haven't hosted a mini P where you guys get a taste of what we get to do over there. You get to have it here. And that was one of the coolest things when I was younger in the business, getting to go to those. And so I asked the managers, if they'd be willing to throw down and do this experience for you guys that we'll get to have over there. And they were like, absolutely, let's do this thing. So again, I'm super excited for you guys to get a taste of that. Cody, can you hear me now? I know you're doing other things.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I was just saying, like, getting a chance to go to President's Banquet or a mini P, which is a very similar experience, right? One is locally and one is there. Like, what do you feel are some of the benefits of going to winning something like that, or what have you loved about it? It's like one day of absolute decadence, but why all the hype?
I think for me it was one of those experiences to see like okay, like it also it gave me something to work for in a couple different regards. One, it gave me something to work for in the immediate, because I'm like, okay, I want to work so I can hit this goal, so I can personally go do this. That was the immediate one that it gave me. But also the thing that it gave me more longer term was the desire to be like, wow, like I like if I worked, right, I could have the money or have the lifestyle where this could just be my Saturday, right? Not just once a year when I want a cool contest. I think that was one of the fun things too, to be like, oh, neat. Like I've heard about going to, a spa days where people spend $1,000, but I never did that, right? They don't have, I mean, the, there's like mud holes in Iola, Texas, but there's no mud baths, right? Like not like that kind of mud bath anyway. And it was just a really cool thing to get to see. And then I think the friends and the fellowship is another thing too. I always really enjoyed like the people you meet. I think is really important. And I think a big thing in our Vector and our Cutco experiences is the people that we get to meet and network. And it's for me one of those times that I get to go see meet more friends, meet new friends, but also see some of those friends that I don't get to see every week, right? Like I get to see Devin's face every week. There's some friends that I have in the company that I don't get to see every week, and so that's one of the fun things I really enjoy about it. And then the part where it's like, I don't know, I kind of like when people buy me things, right? So like the little gifts or like the getting spoiled or the whatever, being like, wait, how much caviar can I eat? Right? And they're like, as much as you want. Which is a lot of caviar, it turns out. But it's a really fun time though. And then what we get to do locally, I think it's a fun thing where we get to spend some time and show you guys a little bit of that experience at the local level. And we've done some really great spa days before. There's the Houstonian, is a beautiful hotel and spa. If you guys have never been downtown in the Galleria area, it is top notch. And so we get to experience some of those things as well. And I've been thinking, man, the last time Kathy and I went to the Houstonian, maybe it was before COVID, probably, right? Like, I don't even know if you had a baby yet. So we're due for one of those trips. So we're excited to get to, have you guys get to start experiencing some of those things. And like I said, something fun to work for now. But I think really the most important thing is it kind of shows you what you can work for and what your life could be like in the future too. And I think that's a really special thing. And then I just think it's really cool that the company likes to show us that appreciation because they don't have to. Same way locally, I know Kathy doesn't have to. I don't have to show that appreciation, but it is really cool that we get to, and I think that's just a thing to be thankful and grateful for. So that would be my answer, Kathy.
I love it. I love it. And by the way, I didn't even think about that. I love how you mentioned like thinking about how you'd want to live later, right? Or like what things are actually out there. Because I think about for sure the first time I went, I'm like, wow, people get to do this regularly, right? Like I grew up lower income. I didn't know like people do this and like go to these type of dinners and have these like seafood towers. And I was like, what the heck? So it was just so cool to be exposed to a totally like different way of life and what life could be versus what I knew, which was like struggle and paycheck to paycheck. And like, we grew up on rice and eggs and pasta at my house, and so getting a chance to experience fine dining was probably a bad thing for my pocketbook, but it was a really fun thing over the last 20 years and getting to provide these awesome experiences for other people. So it is going to be amazing. We are going to have such a fun time, and I hope to see every single one of you guys there. All right. But step one, I want to make sure everybody makes a plan with your district manager and ask them, what do we need to do for two things? One, for me to make sure that I get my President's Club letter this fall, right? That I'm President's Club. And two, what do we need to do to make sure the office is President's Club qualified? Cool. And how can I help support that? And we'll chat a little bit about that, but there's stuff that you can do to help elevate that. So I think going to your manager, and I would make that as a to-do, by the way, and asking them like, hey, what does this look like? And making sure that you have a plan where you can be intentional to help with that growth. Cool. And then the other thing that we're super excited to bring back is our Dirty 30 payoff. So since COVID, a lot of things went online, and we stopped doing a lot of the fun in-person things that we used to do, and in that process of COVID coming, I also have now had 3 kids. So life became a little bit more of a juggle. But now I think we've got a good flow. I have our bearings here, and we're super excited to bring back our Dirty 30 contest. I went ahead and posted it in the chat if you guys want to pull those, but this is this, and we have a lot of fun. On the top right, that was really cool. We got a bunch of our guys, and we had gone zip lining, some of the guys from the division, some of our others, but there's a really cool place that I don't know if you guys have ever seen or heard of before. You can look it up, Geronimo Adventure Park. It's in spring. And these are really cool pictures from it. They have a lot of like badass outdoorsy things. We can go zip lining, like some cool team bonding, but it's going to be a really fun day of just adventure and fun together and celebrating our top leaders. It's something I wanted to do in the summer, but it's like 107 degrees in the summer. So I wanted to save it for winter. But anybody, and you guys can help your refs do this. Cool. Anybody who sells $10,000 for the fall campaign will be joining us on Saturday, January 11th. And so I'd say start spreading the word. Cool. Start sharing with your team. I would make sure that you talk to your manager about how you can help promote this tomorrow or Thursday at your team meeting. But this is going to be a great time. And again, what are the benefits of hanging out with the top people? The relationships, being known, extra attention. And guys, it puts you in a place where people know you, right? Mr. Rose knows you. I know you. And we can give great recommendations when we're making decisions with Mr. Lloyd Reagan. And so that's something that I learned early on from Tony Robbins. It's something that we really implemented here, and understanding that proximity is power. And you become the average of the 5 people you spend more time with, right? So if you guys keep hanging out with higher quality, higher performing individuals, people that have more discipline, guess what? You start getting some of those as well. Anyone ever have your parents when you were kids say, like, I don't want you hanging around them because you're going to become like them or whatever, right? It's a real thing. You become more and more like the people you surround yourself with. So how about if you took that and were really intentional about that, right? And said, well, shoot, if I'm going to become the average of the people I spend the most time with, then these are the people that I want to be hanging out with, right? And started doing that more and more. And that's what really being in Cutco taught me, to keep up leveling my circle, right? And it's just wild and amazing to be hanging out now with shakers and movers, in our world in so many different industries, because of that intentionality of how do we continue to elevate, right? So I wanted to share that with you guys, because we're super excited about that announcement and just getting to celebrate with you guys. But most importantly, breaking what I think is going to be an all-time first of an entire division winning President's Club, being qualified for President's Club in 1 year, right? We've all done it at different times, but all at the same time. I don't think it's been done. So we're super excited to be the first to ever do that. All right. So